This is take 2 on video 3 because I got all tongue-tied and flustered. So I'm going to start over. This is going to be about what the hardest part was for us being part of a trans couple. And I'm actually going to try and tie this into our talk about stealth and visibility because it does tie in. I mean, as someone that, while comfortable with their gender expression, I'm a cisgendered female, I'm comfortable with that. I like my vagina, I'm good with all that stuff. I am pretty much invisible to the quote-unquote community. And it is important to me. I like feeling like I'm a part of something bigger than myself. It makes me more confident in a way. And it's not as important to Chance, the LGBTQAAI part. I think he's more, he wants to focus on the T aspect, which I'm totally okay with. But I am quite often invisible. You can walk past somebody who know is a part of the community, and they don't recognize you as the same. And I guess I'm a little bit more on the femme side. I don't like the term femme, but I usually dress in a way that is more femmy. And it sucks. It sucks that I have felt like I have to dress a different way, act a different way, to feel like I fit in, and it sucks. I already said that. It sucks. My face is too fat to cut my hair short, so I can't go that route. I am comfortable enough in my gender expression that I can pop on a binder and a pair of dude's jeans and still feel feminine, because it's still me being me, if that makes any sense to anybody. So as far as the hardest part, I would say becoming even more invisible. Because now it's just, we're a heterosexual couple. And I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. But if I use the term partner for my partner, everyone assumes, oh, she's a lesbian. And then I start using male pronouns and they're confused. Or I wear a ring. Chance and I both have rings that we wear on our left ring finger. They're promise rings, something that we did for each other around our 1-year anniversary. And sometimes people see that and, oh, she's owned. And of course, in a heteronormative culture like we live in, oh, she's owned by a man. And the feminist in me weeps at that idea. And it's another community that I feel like a little part of me is fading away in front of. So it's almost one of you might have to make a little bit of a sacrifice. Because of his dysphoria, he needs to appear as the dominant male. And that would make you the submissive female. And that is the hardest fucking thing I've ever dealt with. And I would say that a lot of people have to deal with the same thing if they're in a lesbian relationship prior, which we were not. We met after he was already out. And then I think one of the females, okay, let me start over. You're in a lesbian relationship before, and then I think there is a pressure in order to raise up the male attributes of your trans partner to be a little bit more feminine. And if that's not you, it's tough. It's a tough sacrifice. I'm just going to say sacrifice because it is. Everyone makes sacrifices for their relationships, for their partners, but it is going to be a sacrifice. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like it's gonna be all puppy dogs and kittens. It's not. It's gonna be hard. But if you're with the right person and you communicate the crap out of it and you are open, I think is the key part. Most issues you can barrel through. I think that's all I wanted to talk about as far as us specifically. Oh, no, it's not. I lied. I am an extremely abrasive human being. And I call people out a lot and I'm confrontational. And my biggest issue when I first met Chance, and honestly still, is seeing him as trans. And I don't mean that in the way that most people say it. I have a hard time seeing him as anything except a man. I don't even think about the trans aspect. So certain things I would say, certain points I would bring up, that I would bring up to any other man, he would take offense to because of a connotation in it, because it might have a female connotation. And that's the kind of thing that I never really thought about until I was in this relationship. So on one hand, you don't want that to be the focus of your relationship. You don't want that to be the focus of your life, is the transliness of it all. And you don't want to live in this big bubble in which everything is trans and asterisks and all that kind of stuff. But you also need to be aware that it's a different circumstance. So I think that was a hard part for me too. Trying to curb certain things that I would say because I didn't think of him as trans, I just thought of him as a man. So it might just be my naivete, it might just be that I've only ever seen him as a male. So I don't understand the misgendering, I don't understand the messed up pronouns. And that's the other hard part. Not correcting every single family member that insists on saying she or the birth name or anything. People that backslide, and you just sit there white knuckling it during family functions because you can't stand up and be like, what is wrong with you? Knock it off. Like, you can't make a scene. And it's hard to curb that too. That's for sure. That goes along with the whole I'm confrontational and obnoxious aspect of things. I know a lot of his family are making a real big effort, so I kind of let them correct themselves, and almost always they do, which is, I think, just fabulous. My family isn't an issue because he's not out to them, but his family, they're making strides, leaps and bounds. I was going to try and make this all one video, but I think I am going to call this one a cut and move on to the next one so they're not too long. Alright, so I will see y'all in about 3 minutes when I set up the camera again. Alright.